Hello everyone. Let me start this video with a simple question. How many tools are you using just to manage a requirement, writing test cases, and raising bugs? I've seen many people are using Jira for writing stories, different plugins to raise bugs, Excel for writing test cases, and Slack for update. And then still losing the track. What is the use of it if it is not making you productive, if you are still not able to work productively? What is the use of all of this if you're not able to achieve your task in less time? What is the use of all these tools if it is not making you more productive? Guys, today I'm going to show you one tool that does it all. Hi everyone, this is Mukesh Tony once again from learn-automation.com. Let me introduce Bugasura, test management tool and AI-powered bug tracker. And the best part, it's free forever. So let's dive in. What's broken today is in most of the QA team, we are using different tool for each task. You write test cases somewhere else, then execute them manually or using automation. Then if you found a bug, again you open another tool, again you type everything from the scratch, upload a screenshot. In this whole process, you lose a lot of time. And the worst part, no traceability. That's where the Bugasura steps in. It brings everything under one roof. Now let's talk about why Bugasura. It's a smart QA assistant. Bugasura is not just another bug tracking tool. It's built for speed, it builds for context and intelligence. It combines everything together. It combines your test requirement, your test cases, test runs, bug tracking, requirement coverage, and even AI-powered suggestions. Now, whether you're QA, developer, or even product owner, this tool fits everyone's workflow. Let me quickly walk you through the killer features that Bugasura have. This tool definitely deserves attention. Bugasura have AI bug assistance. It can write the bug description for you, so you don't have to write it manually. They have one feature called GenAI. The moment you click on it, it can write the bug description for you. It also have an option called one-click reporting. It also have a Chrome extension, which anyways I will show you once we start the demo part. It has built-in test management feature where you can have your requirement, you can create your test cases, you can create a sprint, you can group into suites, and you can run them manually, or even you can use automation test, and it can capture everything in one place. You can even raise bugs directly from the failed test cases. And the feature which I like the most is requirement traceability. Now you can link your test cases to the requirement, and you can exactly track what has been tested, what is not tested, where bugs are coming from, which area is affecting the most, and so on. And it is also having real-time dashboard where you can see the bug trend, aging. You can also see the blocker issues, test progress, and many more in very clean format. So now you can integrate Bugasura with Jira, you can integrate with GitHub, Slack, Asana, Gmail, and many more. And they also have automation CLI integration to generate execution report through automation. And they also have a zero cost plan, no hidden fees, unlimited projects, unlimited users, and the test management part is totally free. Okay, so enough of theory. Now let me show you practically all this demo one by one. And after the video, please give a try from your side and let me know if you face any issues. Okay, so let's start. And in order to start using Bugasura, you can visit their official website, which is bugasura.io. And they have a very good documentation. So whenever you get time, please go through their documentation. It is in depth and you will see a lot of different documentation. Now, the interesting part which we discussed, that it is for free. So now the moment you come down, first of all, you can see get it for free. And in case if you're wondering why we should choose Bugasura, then I would highly recommend you see the comparison. Bugasura versus TestRate versus Zypher, X-Ray, Qtest, and so on. The main part is pricing. So generally when you go with different tools, you have a different pricing and it's per user per month. But when it comes to Bugasura, it's $0 forever. And if you see the clean and modern UI, free to use. And the most important part, unlimited users, unlimited projects, which I will show you once we start. But whenever you get the time, please go through with the comparison. That will give you enough reasons why you should choose Bugasura. Now coming back to this, they have a detailed documentation as well. For example, if you go to the resources section, you will find blogs, release note, product roadmap, Bugasura spaces, and the most important part is integration. And I will show you a couple of integrations in this video. And they have also exposed the APIs. For example, if I show the APIs, they have APIs for user management, they have APIs for issues management, test management, and so on. So let's say in case if you want to go with APIs, they have APIs for different things. Okay. So whenever you get time, please go through with that documentation, and I will show you how you can start using Bugasura from the scratch. So in order to start, just click on get it for free. And now if you don't have an account, you can create an account, or you can continue with Google login. So I will continue with Google sign up. And for this particular demo, I have created a separate Gmail account, which is mukeshbugasura@gmail.com. So I will continue with my Gmail account. So it will take a couple of seconds. And now you can see the first part, which is onboarding. So what is your preferred pronouns? I will say he or him. Click on next. Then the next part is, what do you do to put bread on the table? I will select I find and prevent bugs. Click on next. Then this is the most important part, setting up your team for success. Basically now you will be creating your teams. So I'm going to create my first team. Let's say this is Mukesh team. And by default, the project name will be my first project. But let's say I will give maybe, let's keep it the default. I will say my first project. Now you can create multiple projects. As of now, we have created one team and one project. So click on next. And now in case if you're working with a team, definitely you will be inviting your team members. So you can add the email of your team members and you can invite them so that the team can collaborate. As of now, I'm going with a single user, so I will skip this. And these are the different modules. Okay, so by default, all these modules are enabled. So you have the requirement management, test management, issue tracker, Chrome reporter, and Bugasura widget. So Bugasura have their own widgets where you can directly use Bugasura in your website. They also have Chrome reporter, which definitely we'll talk about in this video. But you can track your requirements, you can write your test, manage complete test cycle, and basically you can also track issues. So all are enabled by default. You can click on next and click on next. So this is your all are set. So hardly it took me few seconds to set up my first project, my first team in Bugasura. Now we are all set. So let's click on explore Bugasura. Now this is basically a quick help guide in case if you want to go through one by one, you can go through one by one. So basically here you can manage the projects. Here you can continue with the dashboard. This is the new features which will be coming in future. And as you can see, we release new feature every 2 weeks. That means they will keep evolving. So you will find new features after every 2 weeks. These are the settings part, and this is your personal account. Okay, so in case if you want to do the personalization, change the pick, update password and so on, you can do it from here. Now this is what exactly we got. By default, we got our project that we created in the beginning, right? They also have a Bugasura live support. In case if you need any support, you can use this project. So for example, if you want to create any issues, you want to track the older issues, you can do it directly from here. So what I will do, I will go back to my first project, which is this project. So this is a team project. Okay, I will go with this and let's click our first project. Obviously, if you want to pin, if you want to make it as a favorite, in case if you want to change the settings, delete, archive, these are the standard features you will be getting. So in case if you're working with multiple projects, you can create multiple projects from here. There's no restriction on number of projects and number of users. So let's say if you're working with multiple projects, multiple teams, you can manage multiple projects from here. As of now, I will continue with the first project that we created. Now, in order to start Bugasura, you have to get comfortable with the UI. So on the left hand side, you can see we have a requirement where you can capture all your requirements. Then you have the second tab, which is test cases. Here you can manage all your test cases. Right now, it's all empty. But once you mention requirement test cases, you will see in folder wise and your test cases on the right hand side. Then you also have something called test run. So the moment you create your first project, you will be getting your first sprint by default. In case if you want to create your own sprint, let's say your project has multiple sprint, you go with the first sprint, the second sprint, depends on the sprint cycle, like say 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks and so on. So by default, we call the first sprint. In case if you want to edit, delete, you can do that. Now this is the most interesting part about the test data. Obviously, the moment you start working, you will be having different test data for different projects. So you can manage the complete test data in one place. So you can upload a file, it could be CSV, JSON, text file, anything, which you can consume in your test cases. You also have issues and you also have settings. Now in the settings part, let's say if you want to customize your project, so you can change the prefix. In case if you want to customize the issues field, you can do that. Now the most interesting part is the integration. You can integrate Bugasura with different tools. For example, you want to connect with Slack, you want to connect with Jira, Asana, Linear, Zendesk. They also have dev tools. Let's say if you want to connect with GitHub Connect for monitoring, for reporter, and for importer. So they have different integrations. I will show you CSV and Jira. And this is your workflow. So by default, for every project, you will be getting the default workflow. For new, this is new. For in progress, they have in progress, fix, not fix, release. And for close, cancel and close. In case if you want to add a further status, you want to customize, you can do that. These are the time tracker and the SLA agreement. Now you can also see dashboard, right? So on the left hand side, you will find dashboard. Here you will see how many issues on project basis. So right now, obviously we have one project, but if you have multiple projects, you will see. So I will show you very beautiful dashboard. Not in this project. I have some existing projects where I will show you multiple things in detail. Okay, so let's continue with the first project. And let me start with the requirement. So here you can see manage every requirement. You can do the test case mapping. You can monitor coverage and keep traceability throughout every sprint. So let me create our first requirement. I'm going to create one folder, or you can directly start creating. So if you see here, we have something called Jira import, which I will show you. Let me create my first requirement. The moment I click on add, now it says, do you have any folder? Right now we don't have. So let me create one folder. And let's say I want to start with login and logout functionality. That's a basic functionality for every application. So let me start with this. So I created one folder now, and let me create now my first requirement. So it took the parent folder, which is login and logout functionality. And as I told you that we got one sprint by default, right? So I will be creating my first sprint. And here you can give the title and the description. So let me give the title. So I already have written this to save some time. So let me give the title is user login and logout functionality. And now you can see we can give the details. So let me give all these details, which I have saved it somewhere. Basically, as a user on this LMS platform, I'm talking about this LMS platform. User should be able to log in with valid credential, log out securely using my account to ensure the proper session management and security. And these are the acceptance criteria. And this is logout scenario and so on. You can also change priority from here. So you can select whether it's a low priority, medium priority, high priority, and critical. So let me go with high priority. You can also assign tags. So let me assign some tags called, let's say, authentication. Let me also give one tag called login. And let me also give one tag called logout. Now, in case if you are working with multiple team members, you can assign. Right now I only have one user, but the moment you invite multiple users, you can assign this requirement to a specific team member. In case if you have any attachment, you can attach the files or maybe the wireframes. Now click on add. So this is our first requirement, and you can see all these tags that we have mentioned. Now you can further add the requirements directly from here. And in case if you want to link test cases, you can also link the test cases. Right now the count is 0, but the moment you link some test cases, this count will increase. And in case if you want to delete, you can delete from here. So this is my first requirement. So moving forward, in case if you have multiple requirements, you can create a folder and you can continue with further requirements. But let's say if you want to add more requirements, click on this folder and continue from here. Now, once my requirement is done, let's say if I want to create some test cases, so I will go to test cases. And you can see the exactly same folder we got here. So this folder we created in requirements, right? The same folder I got in test cases too. Right now the count is 0. Now I can start writing the test cases based on the requirement. Now if you click on this arrow button, in case if you have some CSV file, you can import your test cases directly using CSV import feature, or you can directly write the test cases. So I will show you both. So let's say I want to write one test case. So I will click on add test case. Now you can see we also have functional test cases and API test cases. So depends on what kind of test you have. I will go with functional test cases where you can give set of actions, input, expected outcome. And now you can continue with test case scenarios, test conditions. You can give acceptance criteria, steps, test data, and so on. Now pay attention guys. Bugasura comes with GenAI integration. So you can see this option, right? So in case if you want AI to generate your test cases, you can use the GenAI feature. In case if you don't want, you can disable this. So let's say I want to simply write one scenario, which is verify successful login with valid credential. Now the moment I click on this GenAI or somewhere on the screen, it will take a couple of seconds, and now AI will write everything: test condition, steps, test data, acceptance criteria, and so on. And the good part is it's all editable. By any chance, if you don't want to go with certain things, you can change everything. You can change steps. For example, this step number 2, I want to give the valid email. So this is, let's say, enter admin@email.com, and the password is admin@123. So basically I can change the steps, I can change the test data, I can change any field. And in case if you want to change the priority low, medium, high, you can do that. So now you can see it also have created one folder. So this folder we already created, it also created one more folder. So the moment I click on create, yeah, so it's ready. So see how fast it was. I just gave the title of the test. It has created the test for me. Now obviously if you want to change, you can change. In the same way, you can continue with add test cases from here or from here. Now let me show you an interesting part called CSV import. Let's say if you already have so many test cases in a CSV file, you can import all the test cases directly using CSV. So if I click on CSV import, now pay attention here. This is important part. Now you can download their sample CSV file. So I have already downloaded. So this is the sample test cases.csv file. So if I right click and open this in a LibreOffice, so you have to provide your test cases in this format. So you can have the scenarios, testing type, priority, feature name, sub feature name, test conditions. And if you see the further columns, you will also say test idea, test data, and so on. So what I did before this demo, I created one sample CSV file, which also I will show you. So again, if I open this in LibreOffice, so you can see this is my scenarios, testing type, priority, feature name, sub feature name, condition, and so on. Verify successful login, verify login field with invalid credential, login field when email password fields are empty, logout functionality, session is terminated after logout. So this CSV I already created. So now I can simply click on browse, go to documents, and I can select this CSV which we created. Now click on upload file. Now this is again very important part called step 2. Now you have to map. You can see choose the right mapping for each field in CSV to the ones in Bugasura. Most of the things are automatic. For example, scenario is mapped with scenario, testing type is mapped with testing type, priority, and so on. The other fields which are not mapped, for example, request, methods, curl, API endpoint. In case if you go with API test, you can map this. So on the right hand side, it shows you the mapping, how it has done the mapping, and the non-mapped field is 5. As of now, I will go with next. It says congratulations, click on done, and you can see the progress here. Now obviously it will take a couple of seconds for you. So once it is done, I will show you how it is imported. Now you can see it says importing completed, imported all the 5 test cases. So you can see this is done import from CSV. So user authentication for login we have 3, for logout we have 2, and this is one that we created manually, right? So if you want to arrange them, you can arrange them. Now if you want to continue, you can click on test run. And one important thing which I want to show you, go to requirements and you can see the linkage. Right now I can link for this particular functionality, for this particular requirement, what are the different test cases. So if I click on link test case, you can see this login, sorry, this feature wise, I will go with user authentication. Now I can select. So these 5 test cases has been linked. You can see the number of test cases count is 5. Okay, so now we'll go with the test run. The moment you go with the test run, you will be getting my first sprint. In case if you want to create your own sprint, you can create. I will go with the first sprint which got created by default. Now in case if you want to change the sprint title, status which is scheduled, in progress, cancel, completed, you can do that. You can change the due date and end date. And you can also see we have testing type, basically human and automation, manual and automation. So in case let's say you have automation test and you want to execute the test and you want to directly upload the result on Bugasura, we can do that. We have something called integration, which I will show you in this upcoming demo. But as of now, I will select both human and automation and I will go to requirements. So this is the requirement that we have, right? And we have linked 5 test cases that's coming here. In case if you want to add more, you can add more. Now coming back to test cases, now you can tell how many tests you want to execute. So we have 6 test cases, right? So let's say I want to add more test cases, I can directly, or I can just say select from the test repository. You can also do CSV import, but since we have already imported in our test repository, so I will just say from test repository. And feature wise, let's say I want to go with all user authentication. So I will select all, edit. Okay, so 3 for login and 2 for logout. Now go back to execution. So you can see overall test 5, to be tested 5, blocked 0, in progress 0, and completed 0. Now you can start executing test cases now. It could be manual, it could be automation. So as of now, I will show you manual. In the next phase, I will show you with automation. Okay, you can also see issues. We also have something called coverage. We also have something called reports. Obviously nothing as of now because we have not executed anything. Okay, so that's how you create your first sprint. Now let's say if I want to execute my test cases, then how we can do that. So let's say I want to go with the first test case, which is verify successful login with valid credential in LMS. And if I click on it, I can see all the steps one by one, right? So step 1, step 2, and I can continue with my execution. Now, if I found an issue, I can report issue, but let's say this test case is working fine. So I will say market pass. And the moment I say market pass, I can give the device configuration on which device I have tested. Okay. So I can say device, operating system, OS version, which browser I have tested, which version, which resolution, and so on. So as well, click on save. So this is in progress and I will say completed. Same, I will continue with the second. Let's say I will open this. This is for invalid scenario. I will say mark as pass. Obviously, we'll go through the steps one by one. I'm assuming, let's say you have completed all the steps. Now you want to mark pass or fail. So I'm showing you all the scenarios one by one. Let's say second scenario also passed. I will say click on save. Obviously, in case if you want to change certain fields while making it pass, and I will say it's completed. This also I can directly say pass. And I will change this to completed. Now we have the logout scenario. Let's say this functionality is not working as expected. So verify logout functionality in LMS. I will click on this. Now let's say I found some bug. Maybe this feature is not working as expected. So I will click on report issue. And now it says add a new issue. Adding a new issue creates a task entry in the issue tracker. Now I can give the summary, description. I can also give the priority. I can add tags, and I can also add the custom tags. Let's say this particular functionality, I will say logout user is not able to log out. Now if I click on Gen AI feature, so you can see it's taking few seconds and it will write the proper description. In case if you want to assign to someone, you can assign. You can also do the attachment. Okay, so it has written the steps. In case if you want to change, obviously you will change according to your requirement. It is also giving the impact, expected behavior. In case if you want to regenerate, you can regenerate, but I would recommend add the steps one by one manually, so that the developer who is making the changes or who will be fixing it, they will get the clear idea. So you can do the assignment from here. These are the different labels. In case if you have attachment, you can do the attachment, and by default it is taking my system details. In case if you want to change, you can change the details, okay, which device and so on. I will make it as high priority as of now, and in case if you want to add one custom field, feel free to add. Let me click on add issue. So you can see this has been filled and it is in progress. And let's say for this one, I will make it pass as of now. And let me complete this. So now we have in progress, and now you can change the status from here. So depends on the what kind of fix you got. You can keep it blocked, you can keep it cancelled, error completed. Now let's say you got the fix, you test it again, and now let's say it is working as expected. You can change the status to completed, and then you can mark it pass. So that's how you can execute the test cases directly from Bugasura. Now, since we have completed all the tests, you can say overall 5 test cases. 0 started, like 0 to be started because we have finished all. 0 blocked, 0 in progress, total 5 completed. Now the issues tab, you can see we have raised one bug, right? So it is still not completed. So I will change the status from new to fixed, or and then I will change it to closed. So now you can see we have one issue, 0 new, 0 in progress, 1 closed. And now if I go to coverage, it says total 5 test cases, 4 passed, 1 failed, 1 bug found. And here you can see user is not able to log out. We got one bug, and if you click on this bug, this is how you can get the bug details. So this is how you can use Bugasura. Now let me show you another phase where I will be importing that requirement from Jira, and then I will also show you how you can execute your automation test and update the result directly on your sprint. Now let me show you part 2 where I will be taking some requirements and these requirements will be coming from Jira. So let's say if you have a Jira account already and now you're migrating, so you want to import requirement from Jira. So how you can import, let's see. So again, come back to requirement. You can see one add. This time I will say click on Jira import, or let me show you one part. Let me go to test run. Let me create another sprint, and this sprint I will say sprint 2 scheduled. Let's say start date maybe 6th, end date is 7th, human and automation both. Click on save. Now click on requirement, and now in the sprint 2 I have some existing requirement which I want to import directly from Jira. So I will create one folder. Let's say this folder name is user registration, because the test and the requirements which I want to import from Jira is related to user registration. So I will go back to test run. I will go to sprint 2. Again, I will be selecting requirement. Again, click on Jira import. Let me provide all these details quickly. Server URL, email ID, and the access token once again. The moment I click on load project data, in the next screen, see, in case if you have any connectivity issues, it will show you. But since the connection got successful, it says choose which Jira project to connect with. So in my Jira accounts, I have two projects. I will go with the first project, which I created for this demo is called sample project. Then it will ask you select folder to import requirement. So just now we created this folder called user registration, right? So I will click on this folder and it will be coming under sprint 2. So click on next. Now this is again mapping part. So this is the fields which it will match. So title in Bugasura will map to summary in Jira. Same details will be mapped to description, assignee to assignee, tags to labels, and so on. There's one field which is unmapped. So in case if you want to map to a particular field, you can. As of now, I will continue with next. It says completed. Your Jira requirements are now being imported to Bugasura. It will take few seconds. So let's wait. Once you can see this importing section, right? It is importing requirement from Jira. It will take few seconds. Once the requirement is loaded, then we'll continue with our video. Okay, so now you can see it has imported my requirement from Jira and we are able to see here. So I will click on cancel. In case if you don't want particular requirement, you can delete. Let's say I want to go with this. I want to delete this one. So I have only two requirements now. So only this change, rest everything will remain same. You can add the test cases, you can do the execution, you can raise issues, you can find the coverage and the report. The one important part which I want to highlight is the CLI integration. So Bugasura have automation CLI where you can directly execute your automation test. For example, I have few tests. I want to execute this test and based on the pass and fail, I want to update the result to the Bugasura and it's very, very easy. So I will show you these steps as well. So Bugasura is now available to enable you to upload automation results, log bugs and create tests at your ease. So you have to just follow a couple of steps and let me show you the steps one by one. So for this example, I'm using Mac, but in case we're using Windows, you can go with command prompt. So in order to use the CLI, you have to install Python. If you don't have Python, then I will give you a link in the description where you can install Python on Mac and Windows and you can continue with the Python installation. So I already have Python on my local system. So I will continue with the number 2 command, which is check whether Python is configured or not. So let me copy this. So this is my terminal from Mac. The moment I execute Python 3 version. So at this moment I have Python 3.13.5. So step number 1 is done. Python is configured in my system. Now we will be installing Bugasura CLI. So just copy this command called pip install Bugasura. And now since I already have this Bugasura CLI, so it says already satisfied. In your case, it will quickly install and you will see Bugasura. So if you quickly want to check the installation, just type Bugasura space -h and you will see the different positional argument which you can pass along with the different options. So if you see this all usage positional argument option, it means Bugasura have been installed successfully as a CLI. They have also given one workaround. By any chance, if this installation is not done properly, you can just do the force installation. Now coming back to third and most important part. Depends on which framework you're using, your configuration will change. For example, if you're using Playwright, Cypress, WebDriver IO, PyTest, Postman, Robot Framework, JMeter, the configuration will change. For example, if you go with Cypress, you have to follow these instructions. If you want to go with, let's say, PyTest, you have to follow these instructions. As of now, I will show you with Playwright. So I'm assuming that you must be familiar with Playwright. If not, then I would highly recommend you to watch my another series, which is on Playwright. But these are two important things we need to check. So this is my Playwright project and if I go to my configuration file, I have one reporter called JUnit reporter. And here we have given a configuration that whatever output we will get, we will store the output in result.xml file. So basically this is my result.xml file. And Bugasura CLI will look for this particular XML only. So make sure you add this reporter in your playwright.config.js file, which I have already added. Now coming back to final, which is embed code. Now you have to execute this particular command. So you just type Bugasura upload result, and this is path to your XML file. So in my case, this XML file is available on my project root directory. So I will directly give this result.xml. But by any chance you have this XML in any other folder, you have to provide the folder name as well. Then this is the API key for this particular project. This is the team ID. So if you remember in the beginning, we created one team, right? So that's just team ID. This is our project ID, which is 116407. And this is the test run ID, which is 131174. So I will copy this command. So this is my project. So first let me show you, let me execute this test. So let me just go ahead and run one test first. So this is my automated test, which is simply doing the registration. And once registration is done, it is giving me pass. So based on the result, it will update my result.xml. So right now it is pass. Now I want to upload this result. So this command which we copied, right? You paste here and come back to this part, which is path to your XML. I will say pick the result from results.xml file. Okay, this is the XML file which is on my root directory. So I'm giving direct results.xml. And the moment I hit enter, it took hardly 1 second and it says upload successful, Bugasura test run link, and it has given you the link as well. The moment you click on this link, click on open. So you can see now it is importing the test result from your automation run. So let's wait for a few seconds. Once the importing is done, then I will show you. So you can see now importing is done. So let me quickly refresh. So you will find the coverage. See, this is just now we executed, right? So it says one test case, one pass, 0 failed. And by any chance this test get failed, then it will also update the failed test cases. Okay, so it's all about what is your result. If it is pass, it will update pass. If it is fail, it will update fail. So let me also show you interesting report. The previous project that we created had only one requirement and a few test cases. So let me show you another project, which is just pay. And now if you see, we have report section and you will be amazed by the report part. So it will show you very, very detailed report. So if you come down, you will see the area impacted, which area is impacted, and it will also show you issues by severity. If you click on product part, it will also show you the rate at which all issues are moving, type of bugs has been reported, average time to close an issue by severity, maximum issues in your funnel by status, how many are new, how many in progress, fix, highest bug, okay, who have raised the highest bug, so that you can identify the candidates accordingly. And the most important part, again, engineering. So average time to close the issue, then it will show you top members reporting the issues, highest bugs, speed of closure, load distribution across team, maximum issues in your funnel by status again. So very detailed report you will find. And before we end the video, I want to highlight one important part. They also have something called Bugasura widget. So report issues directly from the website and close issues faster. So if you enable this, let me make this project as public. I click on investigation, and if I click on Bugasura widget, so you can see this script, right? Now you can use this script directly in your website and you can start using Bugasura to your website directly. So let's say if any customers are facing any issues, they can report a bug and directly you can see on your project. So that's all about the demo part. I would highly recommend you to give it a try with Bugasura. As I mentioned, it's completely free. So in case you have any custom requirement, okay, so let's say you want to go with on-premise deployment, you want to do any customizations. So in case if you want to connect with them, click on connect. It will redirect to Calendly. You can have a detailed demo and talk about your requirements. And the free plan contains everything. So whatever I showed you, it's part of the free plan. You will be getting 50 GB storage, all features, all integration, unlimited users, unlimited projects, and so on. So worth giving a try. Please try from your side. Let me know if you face any issue and let me know your feedback in the comment section. So if you're a manual tester tired of using different tools, or even if you're automation QA who wants better visibility and bug tracking, Bugasura is a solid choice. It's simple, smart, and built with QA teams in mind, not just managers. So please give a try and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I will be giving all the link in the description. So please go ahead and explore and thank me later. That's all about this video. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comment section and I will see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Take care.